Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha and today I'm creating this particular makeup look. So if you'd like to see how to create this, please continue watching. I've already gone ahead and primed my eyes with my NARS eye primer. Now to create this look, you're going to need 2 to 3 shades. There are 2 key shades in this look clearly. One is the gold and the other is a matte warm brown shade. And I've also used like a light peach shade that I've used as a transition to blend the brown towards my skin tone. So the first shade you'll need is something like this, which is the brown I've used. This is a cream product and it's by Danessa Myricks. It's called the Colorfix. It's a 24-hour matte color. She makes different finishes, but this particular one is a matte one and the shade is Chestnut. The shade is very pigmented, so a tiny dot is all you'll need. The second shade that I've used is this beautiful gold shade. It's the gold from the Viseart Theory palette in the shade Siren. I've chosen this particular shade because it's a deeper gold and is also more vibrant. And then lastly, to blend out the edges, I'll be going in with a mix of these two peachy tones, but mostly this one, which is again from the same Siren Theory palette by Viseart. Another important tool, especially if you like to do this kind of a cat eye, is to invest in a beauty blender liner designer. This is like a guitar pick, but it's very flexible. It has different edges. So this side, as you can see, has a nice curve, whereas this one is more flatter, if you can see that. So I'm going to use this curved side to kind of help me angle the eye makeup so that it matches the angle of this eye. So it's a kind of a cheating product, but it makes your life a lot easier. So I've just put a tiny amount on a MAC palette. You can see how small the dot is right there. And to apply that, I'm first going in with the synthetic brush. This is by Peaches and Cream and it's in the number PC20. Now just place the liner designer close to your lower lash line. So I'm going in like this, but not up close. I'm not going like this along the lash line. I want some of the brown to come a little lower like I have in this eye. So you can see that it's not starting here, but it's starting a little bit lower. Just going to place it there. Then I'm going to just make sure that the angle is kind of similar. And then if this doesn't look okay, then you can obviously blend the eyeshadow a little bit lower if need be. So I'm just going to start with this. Hold the liner designer with one hand. Grab a tiny bit of product onto the brush because this product is really pigmented, so be careful when you apply it. Just going to dab along the lash line right here. So I'm going, just make sure you smudge between the where the liner designer is touching the skin because you don't want any gaps there, and then bringing it in towards the lid. This cream product blends quite easily. You can see how far the product goes. It's very pigmented. Once I have that rough guide, I'm just applying whatever is remaining onto the lid. I can take this one off actually. Then just extend this one along the lower lash line. Like so. Once you have this, I'm going to start blending this one upwards and outwards. If you feel like you have too much product on this brush, just switch to a clean brush and blend out the edges. You get a few minutes to blend out this cream product, but once it sets, it's not going to budge, especially if you have an eye primer on. Now I do see that I need more shade here, so I'm just going back in with that first brush, just adding a little bit more color. Now to blend out this portion, I'm using the opposite side. Sorry, I didn't mention the brush. It is Morphe M156. It's a dual-ended brush. So one side you have a small end, and the other side is a flat shader brush. I'm just using this side to kind of blend out this edge. You can see that I don't have enough of the eyeshadow right here, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. Once you have that, you can blend out the edges. Just clean up with your finger if you need to. My eyes are watering, not because of the cream eyeshadow, but because I have a fan on right here. I have watery eyes. If it gets windy, my eyes water. Now to blend this eyeshadow towards the brow bone, as I mentioned before, I'm going in with that peach shade. I'm just using it on a large blending brush. This is Wayne Goss brush number 16. So just going into the darkest peach shade and just applying a light dusting right there. Now going back in with that small brush, grabbing the gold shade from the Viseart Siren palette, just going to apply that to the tear duct area. The same brush, I'm just going to apply this right on top of my pupil. So for me it's slightly inward, it's not right in the middle of my eye, I feel anyway. So it's going to look a little inwards like in this side. It's not smack in the middle, if that makes sense. Especially because you've drawn out the eyeshadow, the brown one, so far out. So just look straight ahead and apply this close to the lash line as a guide. Then I'm just blending the edges a little bit towards the brown, nothing major. I'm just going to take a little bit of the eyeshadow on my ring finger and just going to pat it just to make it intense right in the middle. Next, I'm using this Urban Decay eye pencil in the shade Whiskey on my top and bottom waterline. You could also use black if you want a more defined lash line. Then to finish off this look, I'm using the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara, especially focusing on the outer lashes. That's just going to enhance the cat eye shape. I'm just applying lightly close to the roots of my lower lashes. And that's the eyes complete. On my lips, it's exactly the same product we have on the eyes, and it's the Danessa Myricks Colorfix in the shade Chestnut. So I've just applied that with a lip brush. And for my blush, I used this MAC blush in the shade Format. So you can see that it's a warm toned reddish brown color, so it goes well with the makeup. And that's it. That is the finished look.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me.